No, I never got any benefits from
Wait until you die.
Okay, 1 minute. I want to propose something for you. I ask you. What mission United States met the Vietnam War for? What mission? You tell me.
Oh, I think
For what mission the Vietnam War?
it was to try to prevent the communists from taking over all of Southeast Asia. That's what it was all about. And if you look at what happened in the end, this for Vietnam for everything. You know what really happened there that benefited everybody was that all the people involved in the war in Vietnam, Laos, North Thailand, all of that. That is when the communists decided. You know, you had a pretty strong communist organization within Thailand in the jungle, trying to get people to fight and all that. But once those wars in Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, once that pretty well ended, so many refugees still came to Thailand. And when they came, they told everybody, don't ever get involved with the communists or you're going to be sorry. So they all turned against the communists. And that conflict, all of that conflict contributed toward that. And the communists gave up the idea of ever controlling Southeast Asia because the people didn't want it. But see, that's the reason I was working on all of this. When I went to Thailand and I went to all these remote regions, and you meet the people, they had no ability to protect themselves. They were at the mercy of anybody who came with a gun, right? So when we went and we gave them a little training and armed the local people to defend themselves, and they're basically on our side. You're never going to join the communists. That was the whole situation everywhere. It was in Laos, Burma, all of those places. So I knew that if we could get into Laos and work with the remote people, then they would defend themselves against the communists, that would benefit the U.S. cause. And I think that's all.
If you take the boy, American and Vietnam don't have negotiation directly with the first time. Why United States need negotiate with the Chinese first in 72, and Vietnam and American in 73? I think this should be something out. Yeah.
Colonel,
Yeah.
we have one question and a follow-up regarding to what you mentioned about, and the general also mentioned about the list that he supplied to you in order to get the funding approved. Do you have any idea where a place where the list could be capped currently, or if it's being capped at all?
All he did is he turned in a list every month of how many people were, how many people were active.
He didn't do it by name.
I don't know. He had.
By
I
name,
think he had
but
the
never
names of
published.
everybody. I think he had the names.
By name.
Were Vang?
No, I think he had a list of names of everybody. And you know what he would do, but you need to put that in this. You know, like you say, all right, if this area, this unit went and fought the communists all the time, they were always out there fighting, and the other unit mostly sat at home, didn't go out, right? And he would take a little bit of the pay from that one and give it to the others who were doing the fighting, which was very effective. You know, so but General Vang Pao always handled the money very honestly. So
The Colonel, the follow-up question would be that, currently, will you be able to help us identify any CIA personnel for us to establish contact and have conversation regarding to accessing the personal file?
นี่ต้องมหาเดียกาตัวตอนนี้ว่าบริจาคให้กับต่อรัฐบาลนะเมื่อเบเนฟิตตัวนี้นี่ทอรัวที่ก่อจะกันรัวแล้วยั่งยืนเนี่ยเราต้องชี้นี่ตัววันนี้ดีนาตรงนี้ชื่อไอ้นี่มาเจ้าได้เด่นเท่าต้องมาให้ท้อแล้วมาเทียบมัวเชื่อมัวอย่างนี้ให้กับตอนนี้ให้กับโตมาลงชิกาเนี่ยนะ
ก่อนหนึ่งเคลียร์ใช่
But could I follow up on that question? Bill, I don't think that they're asking who do you know now in the CIA. I think what would be helpful is to have someone like
Yeah.
yourself who also worked there, like Jerry McDaniels.
Yeah.
And there would be other agents that came on and continued the work.
Thì ở cả một tàu defend được trong cái nữa oa một trong những cháu này thì để nó
No, actually, General
thì
Potter,
thì Washington thì
we actually
nên tàu
want
khí cho nó thì tiền nó thế này
the current.
chỉ biết mà một lý tí mà ôm đâu to thế mà thế là kệ.
But there's another thing about this that you got to remember. We're talking about things that happened a long time ago.
Right.
And the people who worked with me, the Americans who worked with me all through the early days, there's very few of them still around. You know, because they got old and died. You know, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Now you've got
You're
some
right.
younger ones who was there later, but they don't know this either.
Right.
You're not going to get this
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I have
Right.
a question for you, Bill.
Right.
As a colonel in the Thai border police, do you receive any benefits, veterans benefits from Thailand?
No.
Do you take any more patrols?
No. Now, there's one thing happened though, since I was in the police, I had a serious problem in Thailand where I fell and collapsed. I went down on my knee with my leg folded and it tore all of the ligaments loose from
Yeah.
my kneecap and all that. I had a big operation in the police hospital.
Yeah.
Never cost me anything.
Okay.
That's
So the answer is yes. Put that on the record. Put that on the record.
And the doctor who operated on me had operated on more knees than any doctor in the world.
Wow.
Because in Thailand, almost everybody rode motorcycles.
Yeah.
Motorcycle accidents, they did that to their knees. I called the guy who worked with me, a Thai doctor. I was laying there, and but I had the early cell phone was the big one.
Yeah.
I called him.
Uh-huh.
I told him what happened. He said, "Bill, can you get up and get in the car?" I said, "No, my driver's here. He can help me. I can get in the car." He said, "Go to the police hospital. They have the best surgeons in the world for that accident. 'Cause
Right.
It happens every day to motorcycle riders. It never cost me anything in the police hospital."
We need these things in the history book.
Yeah.
Có cho là ta ta lý à pe ta lý à pe quan thì chỉ ta nô nó cái ba tê pe lò lù bà ta cái nô nó chơi thì ở ba lý giả tàu để cho pe một tàu tỷ đô này nó
He testified in Congress. He said the CIA actually hired the unit in Laos. And that's correct. Bill Cosby testified in Congress in 1997. Said that the CIA actually hired more people to be Special Guerrilla Unit to help fight in Laos. And their false statement. That's a true statement.
Yeah, isn't that just about what Bill has said all
Yeah,
along?
I think that's what I was saying all along.
Yeah, because Bill Cosby, the head of CIA.
Oh, Colby.
William
William
Colby.
Colby.
Colby's good, but whatever he said was correct.
Yeah, he said, he testified in Congress in 1997, and he said the CIA hired the more people to be Special Guerrilla Unit in Laos.
Yeah.
So, and then right after he testified that he died in the boat.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was in Thailand when he got killed. He called me the night before and told me he was coming to Thailand. He wanted me to meet him when we was going to have lunch there and we talked. And he got, he died that night. Yeah, he was a very good friend of mine.
Yeah. Well, I just want to iterate that
Yeah.
the testifier Congress during that time.
Yeah.
So we should probably try to get that transcript, if that's possible.
Yeah.
His widow is still alive, and she was an ambassador, and so we ought to be able to get that script
Sure.
sometime.